hang on, bro. This ain't working right. So, hang on. Gotta go. Got to go. No. Yeah. Yo, man, oh man, oh man. See what kind of shit we can get into tonight, Brainiacs. Ooh, boy, he is touching on the topic. Yo. Oh, man. Not a topic that I'm too familiar with. But, NASAnon here. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, let's talk about the transhumanism agenda. I'm going, oh, yeah, let's just go for breath. So, running a little bit late, not too late. We ran later. Nevertheless, the full description of what we're going to be talking about is in the description of the broadcast. Going to have open lines if you guys want to call, if you guys want to talk. That's absolutely fine. If not, it will be me and NASAnon flying by the seat of our ass. Welcome to the Matrix Minds, my friends. You guys ready to go? Let's do this right now. Crank it up, Brainiacs, and share this broadcast and share this podcast. All right, let's go.
You guys ready? It's time. It's showtime, brains. That's right. It's Matrix time. And it's go time. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let's go. Talk about ufology, conspiracy, controversy, and anything and everything that we can get into tonight. Let's go.
What do you say, Brandon? Crank it out.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Get up, Brady. Yeah. It's definitely your show. Your show, and we appreciate you for being here. Buckle up, everybody.
Let's go over here to where the main screen is at. If you notice, kids, you're in the house, but I've got nothing but a screen that's going. My computer's going. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna have to wait until I get to another screen and I can get you guys up here in the chat. NASAnon, why did you pick this topic, bro? I'm get you cranked up in my ears.
All right. Well, it's my constant topic. If you've been paying attention, but it's like the one big enemy of everything. And I'm honestly at this point, I'm at kind of a critical point in my head. But let's just start right first. I want to say hi to everybody that's showing up tonight. And hey, Matt, I know we just threw this kind of together. And like I said to you, I've got some really good bud tonight, so I can't promise I'm going to be like completely perfect and not tangential in my thoughts. But yeah, I'm just a little sick of it because I'm seeing all these pro-Israel groups on Facebook, and it's clear why they're being supported to me because, Zuckerberg is a transhumanist, and these people are trying to legitimize a genocide right in front of us, trying to sway public opinion, and I've just had enough because we can really solve these questions, or, solve a lot of these arguments with very simple statements and maps. And if we can just draw a simple, 1, 2, 3 for people, then make it easier for them to say, hey, no, this doesn't make any sense at all. The history just isn't there.
Yeah. Well, We've definitely got some stuff coming at us, don't we? We definitely do.
From literally all directions and all sides, in every way you can imagine. it's kind of interesting.
Well, hello everybody. Now that I can see you, shout out to Tina, shout out to Andy Cassidy, and all you guys up in here. Lisa, I got you up in here. Andy Cassidy, Tina Danley, Miss Rose CC, Daryl. Howdy, Daryl. Welcome back, bro. Miss Lisa Ayo, Barbara Borchers. You guys, thanks, guys. Mr. Ground Pounder, Mr. Mike Powell in the house. Teresa, Julia Perez. Oh, man. Morgan Roundtree, you guys, thanks for being up in here. Share this broadcast. I see Zooby Dooby Doo. Oh, man. A question real quick. What do you think about the breaking news about that ship hitting that bridge, bro?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up first because I actually wanted to get into that first. Since we talked, I went to my favorite Chinese buffet, and in boredom, I was observing the videos that were on all the TVs of this ship hitting. Now, I've already seen videos, lots of videos of this collapse, and what I saw was miniature explosions that other people are trying to say are wires breaking, but that's not what happens when wires break. However, in this newscast that I just watched less than 3 hours ago, they had edited out not only all the explosions, but all the smoke as well, so you couldn't see it, like blurred the areas. So already at this point, it's clear that this is a Project Mockingbird or Monarch move. And honestly, what I'm reminded of the most is The Strain, that awesome series based on the Dark Horse comic about Nazi vampires in New York taking over the world. Mm-hmm. In the last season, they blew all the bridges to isolate everyone from getting on or off the island of Manhattan, so they could create their own, private traffic lanes. So that's kind of what immediately jumped to my, sci-fi mind. There's something clearly going on because you don't just, blow into a bridge on the same day it was built. Like, that's not something that happens in DC at this point in the security age.
I don't know. We can go over that video, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I personally, I've seen it over and over and over and over again. I haven't seen nothing in regards to smoke, right? I haven't seen that yet, but I can tell you.
Yeah, there's like my buddy Neil just commented, there's definitely videos going on. I've shared them too, where it zooms in and you can see not only the wires breaking, but little explosions going off like one after another in perfect sequence as it collapsed down. I mean, I've been in DC and I've seen controlled collapses in DC, and I don't see anything different than a controlled collapse here. Plus, that bridge should have been stable enough that from one pylon to the next, it should have held on. There's no reason for that much, 80% of that bridge to have gone. Plus, it's designed as a freaking drawbridge. Or no, that wasn't the drawbridge. That was the Scott Key Bridge. But yeah, no, it doesn't look right. It doesn't appear right. It's the same kind of psyop we saw in 9/11, I think. And I'm wondering if they're just trying to close the ports into DC because they're expecting an imminent attack based on their recent actions.
I don't know. I pulled up. Here's the video that I got from. Now, I like Dan. I like Dan Bongino. Okay, I do. Don't get me wrong. I like him. However, I will say that Dan Bongino to me is a talking head. Okay, I believe personally that he is. He's like rides the fence. He rides the fence with where he gets his information as well as like the information he shares. I'm just saying. I've had people come to me saying, we heard Dan Bongino's needing money for this or needing money for that. I'm going, holy shit, how much money does this dude need? But however, I don't know.
What's the difference between someone like Dan Bongino and someone like Joel Osteen? They're both selling religion, but Dan Bongino showed his ass when he started supporting Israel. And we're seeing that a lot lately. Like, people just aren't having it anymore.
Check.
And the media can't ignore, 1 to 5 million people flying into DC every weekend to protest. They just can't. So we finally have a point where, and this is, also all going to tie back into transhumanism and this cult. We also have where that we finally have a ceasefire that the U.S. didn't veto. Where the U.S. didn't veto it. They didn't vote to stop it. They didn't vote to ceasefire, but they abstained because it had some things they wanted in it. So what does that say about our own country's allegiance, as we know, to Nazis from Operation Paperclip and Israelis who lead the world in transhumanism, which is intrinsically connected to eugenics? Eugen Gates, Bill Gates' father, what eugenics is named after, and Aldous Huxley himself, the father of modern transhumanism. That was one of those names that we were all quietly raised to actually think was a good guy. You know what I mean? Like, they only plotted his good ideas. They didn't talk about the dark shit he talked about too, which is what we see now manifesting. And ultimately, transhumanism, it's evil at its nature when you really see it for what it is. And it's what the Nazis were trying to do. It's what Kabbalists have been trying to do for years. And if you go back far enough, it doesn't change patterns. It just, the science gets more modern as the refinement processes get more good. Like 100 years ago, we didn't have access or knowledge of iridium. But now, we know we have 86 iridium mines.
Your Wi-Fi screwed up, bro. Your Wi-Fi
Africa,
screwed up. Your Wi-Fi.
And Haiti is a giant iridium meteor, and there's a.
All right, so here's this thing. I of course, probably because of the topic. I don't know. Dude, your Wi-Fi. Listen to me. You are sounding like the robot down here below me. Your Wi-Fi is going in and out. I can't hear you. Something's going on with your Wi-Fi. And now you're completely gone. Man. McNeil says, I agree, bro. Don't know Joe Biden gonna don't worry, Joe Biden gonna fix it. Yeah, Joe Biden gonna fix it. He gonna implant his broccoli-headed ass. Let's take a look real quick while NASAnon tries to do something with his Wi-Fi. I hope. Go over here. Hear what Dan Bongino has to say about this. I'm very, very curious because this was sent to me. I didn't see this, so let's watch this real quick. He's probably gonna be talking about it too. So
the Francis Scott Key Bridge, a bridge I've driven over hundreds of times when I was a Maryland resident for over 12 years. It's a long bridge. It's an older bridge. I can't believe it's not there anymore. I woke up this morning, went to bed, obviously at 9 o'clock last night. This happened at 1 a.m. And if you play, this video may be tough for some to watch, but it's important you see it because there are a lot of theories going on out there about what happened. And what's that? There we go. So you'll see this cargo ship. This is, as you can tell by the speed of the cars, maybe sped up a little bit. You can tell. But these cars, I mean, think about it. If you were one of those tractor trailers, you just made it. It winds up hitting the support structure on the bridge. And sadly and tragically, the entire bridge comes down. Now, there are a couple things to notice about this video. And again, be very cautious about drawing any. Look, you see, the lights go out. So obviously there's some sort of power interruption. Now, again, I'm not jumping any conclusions either way. Was that power interruption intentional? Was it a cyber attack? Was it just human error? Was it a mechanical failure? These are all possibilities. And until someone tells me otherwise, I consider myself an investigative reporter. Don't ever call me a journalist. I'll be insulted. And until I'm told otherwise, backed up by evidence, I'm going to withhold my opinion. You'll notice on this thing, sadly, there goes the entire bridge. Just a horrible, horrible situation.
All right. Oh boy. Now, I don't know. I'm a lot like Dan here when it comes to this. Did you actually, NASAnon, did you actually see that video? Hello?
I've seen the video from 3 different angles.
All right, you got to do something about your phone now, or I can't hear you. And there's no way there's no way to pick you out of there.
Whoa.
Yep, nope.
Nothing?
You're like
This is weird.
really, really low, bro. There we go.
Really
Hang on.
low.
There we go. I got you. All right, stay where you're at. Come back. Talk to
Is that
me.
working?
Yep, that's fine. I got you.
All right, cool. So yeah, I watched the video from 3 different angles. I wanted to see. The question I still have is whether the flames and explosions I saw were AI generated, or whether the video I've seen since, where you don't see those flames and explosions from where those electrical wires are separating, actually happen. And that's what I was talking about with the smoke. Where the flames are, if you see real close, you can see black smoke as well. So perhaps in the editing we can see something about this. But we live in the time where this whole thing could be AI generated. I'm not saying it is, but
Apparently,
at the same time, our world has become so fake that we have to, really be skeptical about what our government shows us, because a lot of times this is all ritual.
We're gonna watch this bridge collapse again. I've got it. I've got it blown up. I got you now with me. Don't necessarily have to. What do you call it? We don't have to listen to Dan run commentary. I mean, but his thoughts were the same thoughts that I had. We watched the boat hit the damn. Let me unlock my preview here. View, lock preview. Okay, so we can make this bigger. How much bigger are we going to make this? We're going to make this quite big. Okay, so there we go. There, we've got the bridge. That's as pretty damn zoomed in. Don't you think? Yeah, that's nice and zoomed in. So let's back this up a little bit again and watch this sumbitch come in. And like Dan says, I also noticed that it was the power went out on the boat. So there's where it goes. Power goes out. There's where the boat is still lit. But I never seen. I myself never seen smoke. The only smoke I seen was from the ship itself. You know what I'm saying? There, you see it coming out.
Yeah, well,
there it is.
That's going to be based on whether this video shows the flames or not. Exist. I've seen both versions.
All right there is where it hits it. You see flames. You'll watch where the cursor's at. You'll see flames right above its finger.
Yeah, you see a little explosion here. Can you slow it down to half speed as well, just so everyone, can get a good view at the same time?
You can slow it down, yeah. I'll slow it down to slow as you can possibly go. That's as slow as.
Well, no, half speed's a good place to start. You know what I mean? Sometimes you see things when you slow things down a little bit that you wouldn't notice otherwise.
0.75. How's that?
Yeah, because then we could.
See,
something's so wrong with that.
I think something's so wrong with that too, because I don't know, man.
It just lets go. There's no bridge that would do that. I mean, now take it from me. I've been in DC. I grew up there. It is a rotting city. There's an argument for structural problems. Like that could have been a weak pylon and someone knew it. So in order to beat insurance, just like what we saw with Larry Silverstein in 9/11.
Wait a minute. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in on this pylon a little bit more, and the reason why is because I see okay, right here where my cursor's at, you'll see it looks like something blows out here, blows out on this side, and it blows out on that side. I'm just saying, just listen to what I said and then take a gander at it. Watch closely. You'll see it blow out. I'll say when it does, right?
Yeah.
Watch. Now, you see it? You see that, right?
So
It's blown. It blows out on the.
It
It's blown on the
colliding
bottom.
into the pylon and all the water basically blowing through it.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good to me. I definitely agree with that. But again, man, we're trying to dissect this thing, but now the whole damn thing's gonna collapse. Yeah, that was definitely probably water, or what? Or was it, bro? And now the fire. There's the fire, right? Dude, I just don't know. I honest to God cannot tell you. So, was it an agenda? What was it? Right? Who knows, bro? I can't. I don't know. I can tell you that I find it very highly interesting that the lights went out on the bridge at both ends. Okay, like damn near at the same time. So with that being said, I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what my eyes are seeing, right or wrong, right, wrong or otherwise.
Well, okay, if you remember the Las Vegas shooting, we actually blew that PSYOP open within 8 hours, and only because we worked so fast did we have the videos of the choppers actually opening fire on the crowd and on the buildings. It was crazy. But I mean, that's how fast you can solve it. I mean, this, as soon as I heard it was the Francis Scott Key Bridge, though, keep in mind, I'm from Maryland, D.C. I know how thick security is out there. Okay, but there is also something said to be for the failing infrastructure. And this makes a point all of in its own, because DC is one of those cities that's designed in the design of a Masonic symbol, and it's a Masonic symbol of human sacrifice. Most people don't know this, but if you look at the DC overlay in print, that's exactly what it's designed like. More than that, DC was designed allegedly to confuse foreign invaders, and then they paved every road that they designed to confuse foreign invaders. So you don't want to be a tourist in DC. And then the city's a swamp, so most of the old lead pipes is always rotting, and if they try to replace them, then it's expensive, and it's just going to rot more in the swamp water, so they usually wait too long. And the city is constantly falling apart. So there is something to be said for this. That said, this looks like a freaking controlled demolition to me. Period. Absolutely. It's something extreme, but it definitely serves some agenda. And the fact that it was 77 years, I guess, after they actually opened the bridge, that has to have some kind of significance as well.
Bro, I don't know. I mean, I truly don't know. Go back, man. This has got my head. I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Well, dude, I'm noticing everybody's talking about this. Like, this is almost as like low on my radar until I just watched this video as like the whole fake Queen of England thing. Like, I'm just like, nope, not playing games.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's like some conspiracies I don't care about, and they still turn out to be true at this point. Like, yeah, we're like way ahead of the game, and we don't even want to be. Like, we're all learning things we don't want to know. But yeah, this is probably some kind of Kabbalistic ritual, and as we study it 4 or 5 days in, we'll probably really get some, definitive meanings and figure it out. But this is also right before this pending eclipse, and they're certainly hyping up a lot of fear of this.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely.
And then, I mean, the lunar eclipse, I see people making points, like I always investigate because some things I don't want them to be true, but at the same time, that doesn't mean I'm not going to look because I've been wrong before and it's cost me. And it's true. This present and last lunar eclipse, there was not a solar lunar alignment. So what the hell eclipsed the moon? And people really need to start asking and answering these questions for themselves. In more recent news, the state of Louisiana, I think it was, just banned all stratospheric geoengineering systems, so all sun dimming systems. That's a spit in the face of Biden's solar radiation management program, which is another transhumanism goal. That's the green energy agenda of transhumanism in the World Economic Forum to reduce the carbon. And they do that casually by creating this, open air gas chamber we now live in that everyone can see at this point, and everyone's at the point where if you can't see it, you're blind. So I'm glad everyone's finally risen to that point. It's taken me 20 years of raving like a fucking maniac, but I think we're all here. The country of Mexico has also instituted a ban on solar radiation management programs and stratospheric aerosol injection sun dimming systems. So that's a real step in the right direction. But you can usually see also a pattern wherever these positive moves are being made, just like with what happened with Libya. There's always going to be American violence and intervention. Israel is just the most flamboyant genocide that's been done in a while, but now our government has again shifted back into war mode, and they're going after Yemen and innocent people that were trying to stop a genocide. This is just, it's insane. And it's all one collective group, and they're transhumanists. You can call them the Illuminati or the New World Order or the World Economic Forum or the Transhumanist Political Party, but they're all the same fucking thing.
Right.
They change their names like they change their faces.
Sure. Morgan Roundtree says something about, did anyone check out and or hear about how the Navy put out in Baltimore bulletins about a fake distress call in that area, or in this area? This was released, I guess, 2/17, says Morgan. I don't know nothing about that at all until she just mentioned it.
Yeah, and what was the name of the boat? Was it the Kali? What was the name on that boat again? Because I remember thinking that that's a very strange name.
Not sure. I dropped it in a chat.
It was like the Molly or the Kali, something like that.
What the hell was that? I was in a chat with Wayne and Charlene.
The Dolly.
Richard,
that's right, because I've been seeing memes. How weird it is, a boat named the Dolly caused a bridge to collapse like it was melting.
And they dropped the name in that chat. I'm trying to...
Yep, it's the Dolly, like Salvador Dali, the painter.
Are we absolutely sure?
No, they're right, because I just couldn't remember. It wasn't coming. I was thinking Molly or Kali, like Kali, the other name for Shiva, goddess of war, but it was Dolly.
Okay.
The memes are right now. How weird it is that a ship named Dolly made a bridge melt. Yeah.
All right, so everybody in the chat's screaming D-A-L-I. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lee. Barbara. Dolly. D-A-L-I. All right, so I'm gonna just out of shits and giggles here, I'm gonna grab this this name, and I would be really curious to see what it translates into on gematria. You know what I'm saying? Let's just take a gander and see what we got here when we transfer that name into gematria. Let's see what we got here and get out of this. I'm not quite sure. We might not get nothing out of this, but let's just see what words add up to. All right, what words add up to this the Dolly? Right, the Dolly, D-A-L-I, Dolly. So I guess it's an original.
It was just Dolly.
It was just Dolly?
Yeah, that's all I saw. I didn't see a V or anything. It was just named Dolly.
D-A-L-I. That is what we got right here. I just got it in the name. All right, so D-A-L-I. The original cipher is at 26. Original reduction at 17. Reverse value of 82. So reduced in gematria, the word Dolly is 17. How original is that? So
okay, let's take a beat because I can't quite remember, and it's going to bother me. Let me look up what year the Francis Scott Key Bridge was launched again.
Okay. Interesting little number, though, yo. Interesting little number.
Oh, these are the kind of games I like to play. Okay, so 1779. Wait, no. Yeah, in 1977. So 1977 to now, 2024 would be 47 years.
Okay.
So those numbers don't correlate.
No.
Or do they? 47 years. Is there any combination? I don't see it.
47 years. It's been 84 years. Don't let go, Jack. Don't let go. I don't know, man. Again, reduction 17. That's about the only. Come on, we know what the name is. Psyops. Right? That's still, dude. I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's all Project Monarch at this point, because they won't talk about Mockingbird, and Monarch never was canceled. So I keep hearing them say Trump, 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 Trump.
Right.
And I know every time a Republican says that, it gets Trump 1 vote, and every time a Democrat says it, it gets him 3, because we've all been fucking conditioned our whole lives by transhumanist Nazis to be responsive to repetition, not accuracy.
Marnie Slater's in the house saying that it happened at 1:20. I think she said 1:28. What did she say? 1:28. Do 1:28. It happened at 1:28. In the calculator, you can't do numbers, Marnie. So
I mean, 128 is a pure number. It's 2 to the 6th power, or no, 2 to the 5th power. So it's 2 times itself 5 times.
You know, it all of this. We know how they love to hide shit in code. Everything.
Yeah.
Right?
It's all revelation of the method.
Right.
I mean, like, our whole system is Pythagorean down to the buildings and architecture.
The Dolly is huge, says Lisa. This cargo ship is too small.
Well, that would fit, because Salvador Dali, his museum in St. Augustine, some of his paintings and his murals are like 120 feet tall.
Okay.
His smallest works are the size of humans. He didn't do anything small, and everything you see of Dali's has been shrunk down a significant amount. Then his museum is colossal. So the Dali itself, I think this person's right. It was named because of its colossal size. And so this is really odd, because the Francis Scott Key Bridge isn't all that big. So why was something that size even taking that route? Like, it didn't make any sense at all. Why was it even allowed to be on that water? And by the way, where's all the rescue and the tugboats? Why are we seeing videos of this thing being approached like it was the victim of a terror attack?
Have you been
like
to
a ghost ship?
Bro, have you been to a container port?
Yes,
Okay,
I grew up. I've been
okay.
to Ann Arbor. I've been through Florida a bunch of times. I've been through Miami a bunch of times. I've seen how big these ships are and how big these areas are. And Baltimore's harbor is huge.
That's right.
Absolutely.
It's fucking huge, dude.
But this ship, when they go past it, you know, because they get up close, like the video I'm talking about, where they're like looking at it like it's a ghost ship. You don't see any rescue lights. There's no Coast Guard. There's no fucking local police. There's no anybody. And the National Guard has been in D.C. for some time, so where the fuck were they as well?
Good question, bro.
So the videos I'm watching are this like ship up close as they're going up to the pylons, and they're showing where the top of the bridge has collapsed on it, and it's just like they're just shining lights on it. And this ship isn't all that huge. I mean, there's no reason a ship that big should have done that much damage. The other pylons, at least one of them, should have been able to hang on. This thing looks like it was literally shuffled off of its post, as if every single one of them was rotten. Like, how do you accomplish that?
It's a really good question, bro. I don't know.
It's like the difference between building, a stick bridge with super glue versus Elmer's glue. Like, you build the one with Elmer's glue, we see this kind of thing happen. You build the one with super glue, that thing's going to hold on to the pylon by the soldering that you've done to make it hold on.
All right.
But as you can see, like the picture you have right now, that whole pylon is completely unaffected. How the hell is that pylon unaffected when all of the bridge work on it is gone?
Well, it gets even more strange because if I'm looking at the right picture, let me make damn sure I'm looking at the right picture. Okay, I'm looking at the right. Okay, I guess so. So, all right. Hang on one second. All right, so that's what I'm shown, right? All right, so this pylon right here. See this? This one, I'm circling it right now. Let's go back to that video that Dan had, or let's just go to the hang on, because it looked to me like it was a solid what do you call it? Just a solid pylon, and not one that was what do you call it? Not one that was just framed. So hang on.
Dude, I mean, but that last pylon actually tears it for me, because, like, I've been up close, I've seen bridge work, how they're put together, how they're taken apart, and that pylon, the concrete wasn't even damaged, okay? At least the bolts should have ripped 1 to 3 of those individual pieces of stonework on that pylon off as it took off, if not took the pylon down at an angle itself. That thing should have fallen at an angle, not straight down. And that's why this is identical to the 9/11 thing to me. Now, I see a lot more justification in something like the Arecibo destruction, when they destroyed Arecibo Laboratory, and they said it was just from a wind gust, which is the dumbest explanation ever for fucking anything. But no, this is a setup, dude. This has got to be a psyop. And I think this is America doing it to itself. If I can really read the hive mind right now, like, these guys, they're scared of an imminent attack because they know the shit they've done, especially this week with the attack in Moscow. Anytime it's ISIS, that's Israel, and that's done with American money. So, I mean, everybody knows that. And when Putin comes on TV and he says, "Oh, it was radical jihadists," and American media translate it to radical Muslims, when he really said radical jihadists, like the ones in ISIS, like the fuckers in Israel who fund and arm ISIS. Yeah, no, I mean, it all comes down to the IDF at the end of the day, and people just don't understand that. But and this is a good map, because this explains to you the strategic access to DC and its inner harbors. And what they've done at this point, America's put itself at an extreme disadvantage, because they've actually opened themselves literally to their enemies. And when I see their enemies, I mean the enemies of transhumanists, people who hold them a genuine grudge, who know they took their family or their children or their rare-blooded loved ones to use them as breeding tools and experiments, people who still hold open grudges against the Nazis for what was done to their families and sometimes themselves. This manifests every time we see a Nazi honored in public, and it's getting louder and louder and louder every time they do it.
I can't disagree with you. I truly cannot disagree with you. So check this out. I'm gonna drop that map in the chat for everybody, because like NASAnon said, this was released from CBS News. It says the animation map shows the path of the ship in which it crashed into the Baltimore Bridge. I've been a driver for 30 years. I know in my past I have been to this container port, and the port itself is fucking huge, absolutely ungodly huge. Truck traffic out the rear. Okay, God forbid you can't find a place to park. If you ain't in bed by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you ain't gonna find a spot. I think the last time I was over in Baltimore, around that port, there was I do believe like one pilot. I'd have to ask Mike Pyle, the ground pounder, as well as Socrates. There's not really shit for parking over there, right? And again, if you're not there 7, 8 o'clock at night, or even earlier, you're not gonna find a spot to park. There's just way too much truck traffic bringing in and inbound and outbound containers. Which, something else I want to point out. Okay, just hear me out. NASAnon, while I got you here, here I want to talk to you real quick about, and even I don't mean to scare people. I don't want to scare people in regards to these containers on these ships, okay? In regards to these containers at all. But I do have to point out to you, hang on, container ship. There we go. I want to show you something real quick. I think that I've shown you this prior, but I don't know if I've actually went over it with you. And where am I going? Sometimes I'm gonna tell you right now, Brave is a badass browser, but it sucks for trying to find shit. All right.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes for sure.
Where am I going? It's sending me. It didn't even remotely give me what the fuck I want. So I've got to pull up another browser here. For real.
So Brave is best for streaming, and it's built-in VPN if you want to access things that America doesn't want to see for free, like the TikToks in other countries, the social media in other countries, and also the streaming services in other countries, which tend to be a lot more comprehensive and free than in this country.
Sure.
It's also a way to access life-saving medicines for those who can't access cannabis oil or THC concentrates in this country.
See, look, it ain't even the remotely the same shit. All right, so I'm gonna have to share this other screen. All right. Amy Jo Schaefer says, "Really, Billy? Has this never happened before? Hitting a bridge? Sure, of course this has happened before. Hell, I remember when I was younger, there was a back in the day they closed for a little bit. They closed the Ohio River Bridge from Ohio over into there was one bridge that they closed down from Ohio over to the West Virginia side, right there on the Ohio River." Because some fucking boat, to me, I think it was a coal transport boat hit something. So yeah, I mean, the shit happens, you know. Where?
Well, I mean, I've seen things literally as ridiculous as one of my favorite NASA stories is one of the gas pipes right outside of our building ruptured, and you could literally smell natural gas for blocks everywhere. And we are all forced to evacuate. So that's the FCC right next to NASA, our building, all our contractors right next to us, and the entirety of L'Enfant Plaza. L'Enfant Plaza is the biggest area for downtown professionals in DC to gather, eat. That's basically where like half of Congress plays around when they don't have time to eat. There's motherfuckers running around lighting up cigarettes, and you can smell natural gas everywhere. And it's like, I'm going home. Like, there's no way. You guys have no common sense.
All right, so what I'm showing you guys right here in the chat, as well as on the screen here, this is a container port or just a container bolt. Okay, everybody in transport knows exactly what the hell this is, but what they do is they use this to bolt the container's doors shut. Okay, now I don't have a problem with that, but sometimes you will get here's a really good picture of one. Okay, so let me open this up to where you can see it. All right, there. So see how it goes. You close the bolt, close the door, lock it, and the bolt goes through the hook here. Well, the problem that I have here is a lot of time these containers come overseas, and they don't even have the normal bolt like this. Okay, these bolts here have got numbers on them, right? Numbers on the bolt tells you what is in the container, as well as the bill of lading inside of the bill of lading matches the bolt, so the bolt matches the bill of lading. That way they can tell what the hell's in the container at the time it leaves the port, as well as it inbound gets to the port. Now, the problem I've got, everybody, listen to me, is even on these inbound, outbound container ports, containers like this that leave the port, there's what's called a standard blind bill. Okay, anybody that's in the trucking transportation industry, blah 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 blah, they know. Larry Hawkins is on the is probably listening. He knows exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, he did transport tracking bullshit, blah 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 blah. So I know damn well he knows what I'm talking about. Some of these containers, though, running around the city streets that have already been pre-screened, haha, air quotes, that have left the port, okay? Some of these containers, the bolts are not as we see it, okay? You've sometimes got a normal bolt, an actual bolt, okay? You cannot open, in other words, you cannot, even if it was on the port, you cannot, if it is a blind shipment, cannot open that container. So you've literally got containers running around the city of Manhattan on the back of these fucking semi-trucks with a bolt through the door. And, well, the driver's got a bill of lading that says blind shipment. You know what I'm saying? It says rough commodity, or it says toilet paper, or it'll say it's a general, just a general bill of lading, okay? How in the hell do you really know whether it is or it isn't a fucking bomb running around the city of Manhattan? That's the problem I've had for a very, very long time when it comes to inbound, outbound containers in these ports, bro. I've always had a problem with that. I don't know what.
Well, I mean, that's a really poignant scenario because, I mean, you're not. What about a nuke being able to be snuck in this way? And this absolute failure of our defense system. I mean, why are we funding $823 billion a year openly and like triple that amount in black ops projects if these bastards can't even defend their own subs and their own bridges in their own military ports, of which Baltimore is a massive one? Do you know how many historical ships and how many restored ships and ships in restoration and repair that are kept in that harbor, including nuclear submarines at different times? And where the fuck were the nuclear subs? Where the fuck were the abilities of tugboats to swoop in real fast and stop it before this happened? Nobody even got close to this thing. And where's the investigation, dude? What was in the containers? That brings up a really good question, too.
I don't know.
What kind of containers were they? Was this an evergreen connected shipment? Because if it was, that has Hillary Clinton's call sign all over it.
Oh, yeah.
And evergreen's connected to everything evil right now.
Amy Jo's like, the whole government sucks. I agree with you, honey. The whole government's fucked up. Yeah, I mean, you know what?
Hey, man, I had to learn it the hard way. You guys don't have to give up a career to learn it. Or maybe you do.
Oh, man. I'm trying to find here on Google Earth. I want to take us over there and just get a look at how big that container yard is, dude. Because if I'm not mistaken, bro, that container yard is absolutely huge. I'm talking huge.
No, it's massive. I've fished in the Baltimore's Inner Harbor before there. It's big enough for dolphins and sharks to come up in. It's massive. And you can catch really big fish in there if you dare to drink from that water. Because since like 91, when it was poisoned by DuPont and Dow, they always argue about who did worse. And the Potomac turned pink. That water has not been safe. But yeah, no, I mean, I grew up on the Chesapeake Bay, and I spent a lot of time in Baltimore as well, especially partying in that Inner Harbor. Used to be a really great club there called the 1722, right next to the Hard Rock Cafe there. It was a great place to hang. Yeah, that place is so big that this shouldn't happen. The security should be much better. At worst, it was a failure of America's defense systems. But let me digress, because we're an hour in, and I wanted to ask you, did you do any sound clips of that humanism versus transhumanism video I sent you? That really scary looking bitch?
No, I didn't. Dude,
okay, but you watched it, right?
I was at the mother-in-law's, bro. I was busy.
Okay, but you didn't. Okay, no, we can save that for later.
Nothing. I didn't do shit.
I'm sorry. Well, that was like doing time, I guess.
It was like doing time. Yeah, doing time. James,
what I wanted to discuss, you still have the link, right?
I do. Hang on a second. Let me
okay, would you post it for everybody?
I will. James, hang
because
on
I
a
want
second.
them to be able to watch this and hear it in their own time.
James Roundtree's got. Here's a question: why was this cargo ship going down this little river in fucking Baltimore? Because that was literally that is the inbound outbound way for that ship. That's that you'll see here in a second, James. That was its method of inbound outbound for its cargo. You'll see that in a second. Nuclear fish.
I mean, to say this thing stinks is an understatement.
James says he can tell. He thinks that the cargo ship was empty. Well, whether it was empty or not, we'll take a look back at the cargo ship, because it doesn't. The one that we see here actually does have containers on the ship. So let me real quick. Let me run over here and go to this screen and try to right there. All right, so I'm gonna pull up this map here. What we're looking at is Google Earth, and I'm looking at the port here. I'm trying to find the Baltimore port. Let's get this thing flipped over a little bit. All right, Dunkirk, Sparrows Fort. Where are we going? Do you know what byway that was? Out of curiosity, what interstate was that?
No,
It wasn't 895, was it?
I can't remember offhand. I've been on that bridge a bunch of times, but I'm not 100%. So I don't want to.
All right, so there's
perjure myself.
Just for anybody that has not seen how the size of this port. It right here. Okay, you've got right here on this side. This is we know this is storage. These are for automobiles. These are for containers. You've got more containers over here. Blah 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 blah. And what it is these ships come in on port, and they'll see it right there. There's one ship, right? So you can see the size of the son of a bitch compared to. You've got the ramp, okay? There's first layer, second layer, third. Is it 1, 2, 3? It's been so long. Multiple layers in these ships. So I think it's like 3 layers below surface water, 2 layers above surface water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes 6 and 8 layers of containers above on the actual cargo deck itself. So I'm just saying these fucking things are massive. So all right. We're leaving the port. This is the Beltway Toll Road. I don't believe that's not the bridge. So we come down here, follow its path, and where are we going? Is that right? I could be wrong.
That should be it right there. Yeah.
Is this
Francis Scott Key Bridge. I think so.
I'm not sure. Let's just drag our little guy over there and see if we'll let me place it on this bridge. And
we'll wait, sure. Looking up on Google Earth.
All right,
check it on satellite.
There's the bridge. No, this is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge in Maryland. Wrong bridge.
That's the Bay Bridge. Yeah, that's the Bay Bridge.
You need to go back one bridge. My bad. Sorry about that, folks. Go back one bridge.
The Bay Bridge used to give my aunt little heart attacks, but she wouldn't let anybody else drive.
What'd you just say?
Said the Bay Bridge used to give my aunt little heart attacks, but she wouldn't let anybody else drive.
Oh.
That thing is big.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if it was the Bay Bridge, it would have fucking went right under it. It's like 3/4 of the way across. That's a much bigger body of water.
So here we go. This is the Francis Scott Bridge. Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Key up.
All right, so again, we're looking up here where I've got my my mouse cursor going. This is looking toward where the ship itself left, and again, you'll see these ships. Again, this is a natural path for them out of the port, because the port is in the harbor. Okay, so there's another one way out there. Looking
that looks
down,
like an island.
That is an island. I didn't say.
Oh, you're talking about the bridge.
Oh, you doofus ass! I didn't mean this. I meant the back behind.
Hey, I gave a warning that my weed was really good. Okay, I've already put my disclaimer out there.
This cat is seeing ships as oh, okay. So
Seeing ships in the sky.
he's seeing ships in the sky, folks. All right, so I'm trying to go. Come on, try to go across this bridge here. All right, so now you see there's a container going probably inbound or outbound of the port. See if we can get behind this bitch and I don't know if we can. Probably can. Depends. But I'm gonna show you at the back of the truck real quick if I can get there. One more and I'll zoom into it. All right, so there we go. All right, so we got this container. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this. Do you see how this fella's already open? Okay, so he's probably, this is a multiple, I'm going to tell you right now, what we're looking at is a multiple stop container. Okay, but there's no bolt at all, so that means that it does not have usually a single destination. It's a multi-stop container. Happens all the time. So looking at this bridge, yeah, man, dude, this son of a bitch is big, man. This is a big ass bridge, bro.
But it's not that tall. It's not very tall at all.
Well, we're taking a cruise through.
There should be some very strict regulations on how the ships come through and go. And yeah, the power went out on that bitch, but as soon as it did, the Coast Guard should have been going crazy along with the local port police to try to get some tugboats in there and stop it from whatever was going to happen. Whereas there's lights on the scene within minutes. So where the fuck is all the rescue? How the fuck did 20 people end up missing and dead? Like,
right.
What were they scared of? Obviously, they were approached. Otherwise, VHS would have been all over that shit.
I'm curious because looking at the scenario of this bridge, there's things that ship should have like really hit, possibly, because if we're looking at this arm come down. Do you see this arm? This main beam? You see this beam, right? That beam is like literally showing you right here at the ass end of this tractor trailer. That is where the pylon is going down into the water. Okay, so that is a core support right here. We're like literally looking at a core support right here. And if you look at it on the other side of that, you've got some kind of a cell tower, maybe. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's in the way. It's damn near looks like it's in the way of this core support. This truck is in the way. Is it still in the way? No, there it is. Okay, so I don't know, man. This shit does not add up, bro. I'm just telling you. Where did you go? I don't have any audio on you, homie. I don't have any audio. No audio on you, Homer. Can't hear you. I don't know, man. Folks, you just make up your own mind. I don't know. You got another ship there with a little, probably looks like concrete, possibly. Maybe coal, maybe salt. And then there you go. I don't know. Just really don't know. There we go. He's having all kinds of problems tonight, man. All kinds of problems tonight. Welcome back, Cotter. There again. He's so high he can't even talk.
There we go.
All right, what's up?
It's like every time I start talking about something controversial, all of a sudden I'm having to reset, and that or I just have a really shitty modem. So sorry about that, guys. I keep having delays, but yeah, my weed isn't that fucking good. It can't interrupt the Wi-Fi.
All right, I just showed everybody where there. If man, oh man, I need to go back. Now that I got you back here, and you can see the screen, I'm gonna go back here to this Google, the Google Earth map. Okay, and All right, so hang on. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. All right. Because I want to see what the hell was in front of. I want to see what was in front of the that main core support. So let's take a look at this again. Let's go back to Google Earth real quick. And I'm gonna spin this around a little
Well,
bit.
like I said, I mean, it really could be, non-government fault. But what I'm trying to figure out is why there's two different sets of videos out there. And I don't care which one is the truth. I just want to get to the truth. You know what I mean? But why am I seeing a set of videos on the internet from my friends who I typically trust because they're more accurate than the mainstream media that show explosions and flames and black smoke flying from the electrical cords, as you should see sparks.
Right.
You should see sparks when the electrical cords that are built into those bridges break and sever, right? So where the fuck are the sparks?
All right.
So one set of video has sparks, explosions, flames, and smoke. And then the other one doesn't even have sparks when you know the electrical cords are all breaking and snapping in there as that collapses.
All right, folks, we've got a problem. I've got a problem here. Now, I'm going to show you guys. Will see exactly what I'm saying. So, right here, if you notice, I'm going to make the screen bigger for you. I'm going to make this bigger, okay? So, what you're looking at right here is the core support that ship hit. It hit that first core, what do you call it? Pylon, right? Is that the one that it hit?
Pylon would be the word, yeah.
Okay. It hit the one right here. So meaning that it went around two things. It went around this little doodle bot right here, which looks like an antenna or some shit. It obviously missed this I don't know, again, coal, salt, something. I see the tanks over here, so that's either Portland
desalinization plant.
It's a concrete plant, Portland plant, or some shit.
It's a desalinization plant.
What's that?
It's where they take water and they take the salt out of it in brackish water systems like the Baltimore Harbor to process for the people to use.
All right, perfect. So we've got that. It cleared that, right? It cleared that. It cleared the little.
And notice the posts that it has to clear to stay away from that.
Right here.
I mean, how it had to drive in. I see what you're getting at.
Dude, so.
And that underwater thing you're looking at, I'm thinking that's an underwater Wi-Fi connection hub, underwater fiber optic link.
Bro.
Maintenance
all right,
shaft.
So look, but it's got a. It's where we're. It's. Look at what I'm showing you. It's this.
It was already going in that direction when the power went out.
All right.
Yeah.
So
how the fuck did it get all the way over there?
Well, how the fuck did it go? Dude, it hit this core support right here. It hit this pylon here.
Yeah.
I mean.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I see exactly what you mean. It was way off target.
Oh, yeah.
And it was going in that direction already when the lights went out.
Again, so we'll see where it came from.
Yeah, look how it's way off center. Way off center. There's absolutely no reason for it to take that vector. It's not going through any channels. And as you can see, it didn't have clearance at all.
No.
That's obvious from the video.
Well, it
so
definitely...
yeah, none of this adds up.
Don't know, man. We're just
no, but we'll figure it out in a few days. This is one that's not going to take long.
Just researchers, but
we got the right people working on it.
As Boomstick, who is in the chat, our chat with me, you, and Larry, would say, we need better psyops. I don't know, man. I truly don't know. Call it what it is. It was an accident, bro. It's what it is. It was just an accident. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here at all. Pretty crazy, but nevertheless. What do you think about the as we're counting down the days here? It's April is like right around the corner. Holy shit, right? Yep. What are you expecting to happen here on the 8th? I'll talk to you again prior to that, but what do you think is going to happen here?
I'm expecting them to do exactly what they're talking about doing. You know, a lot of people are discussing a Black Swan event, so they're trying to manifest one, I think. And if people don't do it themselves, they'll do it themselves. There's a really good chance that what's about to be revealed is like basically the last curtain being torn down. Let's remember, at least my translation of the prophecies that I got, the end of the age of the ram is the end of the age of sacrifice, which also indicates the end of the age of the Judeo-Christian rule and the sacrifice of the many, especially, you know, rare blood types like me and all the other RH negatives who've been hunted through the years for our power and shunned for what we can do. The meek are supposed to inherit the earth and all that bullshit, but you got the 3 days of darkness in the prophecies too that also come at the end, the great sacrifice. Also the deaths of the firstborn children, which I think Palestine would be a really good analog if you wanted to do a direct analog for the deaths of the firstborn children, literally orchestrated by the same Masonic cult that wrote the fucking King James Bible in the first place, the Council of Nicaea, the original Masonic cult in the modern age. So yeah, y'all can look that up and make sure that that's true, because we call them transhumanists now. They changed their name. They don't change their tactics because they can't. It's their actual religion. If they don't abide by the rules of their own religion, they're cast out by their own religion. And see, when you're in a cult like that and you get cast out, you don't just get cast out. You get dismembered and castrated and eaten for your own power. So that's one thing that they don't want to happen. You see what didn't happen to Jeffrey Epstein, but what did happen to Steve Bing. They were both registered transhumanist political party members, just like Ghislaine Maxwell and just like Elon Musk, who took over the TerraMar project, the project for colonizing Mars after she went to jail. So these are all things that are easy to confirm for yourselves. Just look these things up as you go. But yeah, I think what they're going to do, if there's a real long-lasting darkness that's going to freak people out, there's a massive geomagnetic storm going on. I think it's a 3 times. But the last time they advertised a ×2 geomagnetic storm, which, by the way, has the EMP power to knock out all power on planet Earth for a few seconds at a time, it became a Category 5X. We had to develop a new category for something that they called a 1.5. I'm hearing about a large geomagnetic storm going over South America right now. Purple's dangerous, but what they have going on is somewhere in the black of the spectrum. So that's some truly, literally dark shit going on over the people of South America. And we have the new Southern Borealis over Australia. I don't mean to be creepy, but I keep hearing the words 7 gates to 7 keys in my head over and over and over again. It's starting to drive me a little crazy.
7 gates, 7 keys, 7 seals.
You got it, pal.
I shared that image through the Telegraph because Mr. James Roundtree says he thinks, or he thought he saw, that the container ship was empty. No, bro, that thing looks pretty loaded. I'm gonna drop that link in the chat here, as well as I've also got to get to some of the links that NASAnon dropped me and share them with you too. There's some shit that he's dropped that that he wants to go over. So let me get to that too. Running behind here, man. What the hell am I doing?
Oh, we're fine. I mean, hopefully the people are willing to say it's a little late. You know, I'm willing to go a little late. Shit happens.
I was 10 minutes late, man.
I said a little late. I didn't even say little. I didn't even use the full word.
David T. Godby says, my buddy resurrected lemon haze, only to have it all illegally seized. What? Now most lemonly stuff is lemon what? Terpenes?
Terpenes. It's basically extracted lemon concentrate that's like boiled down and then turned into a spray that you can spray on weed to make it crystallize and haze out faster.
All right, no,
but it's synthetic.
Now I got what James is saying. The the containers themselves were empty. He believes. I don't know. I haven't researched into that deep, bro. I have no idea.
One thing I can tell for sure is everybody is enjoying what we've been putting down. So, like, I'm watching the chat. I really appreciate people like Tita, James, and Morgan really, throwing it down and supporting. This is a lot of fun.
Ancient origins. I just pulled up an article or what do you call it? Just pulled up a link that you dropped here that took me to ancient origins. What is this about? Because I don't have a damn clue.
So, in the beginning, there was the sun and the earth, but in the beginning of our age, there was a giant cataclysm. There were very few societies that survived a cataclysm about 15,000 years ago that's been revealed by Randall Carlson as the Elder and Younger Dryas, when a huge comet impact based on a rain of fire melted several ice sheets, including the Great Lakes, and flooded America, destroying Tartaria and creating many of the river systems we know as home today, including the Great Mississippi River. So the Elder and Younger Dryas, the Younger Dryas ended as a great ice age, which was the last age of Aquarius, age of great rains, floods. Also in the biblical stories, it's the floods of Noah. In the Sumerian stories, it would be the Sumerian floods that caused the Sumerian flood pits and destroyed the Denisovan cultures, bearing the Denisovan caves and their ancient technologies. We go back 13,000 years, we have the Hattusha, who were the great first society that rivaled Ramses III. This is their home in the Carpathian Mountains. They were a strong mountain people. They were the first to irrigate from the mountains, not the fucking Romans and Greeks. That was predicated on a lie. These people raised oxen and cattle, and they had the strongest armies in the world. You could have asked Ramses III, because he was so afraid of them in his great dynasty that he begged these 7 brothers who ruled democratically as brothers for a peace treaty. These are also the first people to have been found in the modern age to have ancient jade that looks like it's carved out of laser technology. The rediscovery of the Hattusha home site in 1984 revealed Rosetta Stones that have helped us find many of the lost sarcophages and lost tunnels in the Giza area because they showed us where to look.
What?
And through yes, the Rosetta Stones in Hattusha, when they were examined, helped reveal the last known hieroglyphs, which is why we've been able to completely decipher Sanskrit and show the differences between like time and age in the Bible. See where Sitchin was actually wrong about some things and inaccurate in his translation because of what was available. Yes, no, the Hattusha home site was where all this was buried. There's a huge jade stone that's embedded in the rock that's perfectly carved, looks like it's carved out of fucking laser, and it can't be replicated, in the middle of the Hattusha home gathering site. And that's also where you can find the moon and stars of the Gypsies. They were one of the great tribes of the Hattusha. That's why they've gone pure as the Romanovs, is because they didn't want to be broken down as a culture again after they were destroyed by the Ashkenazi, those we call transhumanists. In the Hattusha scrolls, one of the reasons that this place was buried was they chronicled the first finding of the Ashkenazi in their Carpathian home. These people were they were found at the mouth of a great cave or a great entrance, based on the translation, and they were completely starved and in need of help. So the Hattushan brothers took them in and welcomed them in their home. And to thank them, over time, they assimilated into their culture, and then they betrayed them on behalf of Ramses III, and they became the great mages of Ramses, who also then became known as the Magi. So Ramses III, for the biblical stories, was the father of Moses. Now this is an analogous story because the Hattusha, I'm sorry, I misspoke. The Hattusha splintered into the Hittite tribes. The Hittite tribes then splintered into the 13 Abrahamic tribes, and those are all the modern tribes, quote unquote, of Israel today, or the quote unquote the true tribes of the Middle East and the Carpathian Turkish regions, which include Budapest, Transylvania, and Hungary. This gets into history later. The history of the blood drinkers like Vlad Tepes and Elizabeth Bathory, all proudly descended from the Ashkenazi, all made their way across different cultures, creating horrific legends for themselves based on their bloodthirst and their eventual, succumbing to the porphyria that raged through all of them based on their Mongolian and cannibalistic ancestry and experiences. This is something that we still see to today in transhumanism.
Damn.
Sorry.
No, I mean,
Whew.
really interesting. I'm glad you're able to vent that. Or it's for real, dude. So I'm looking at this is via 360 cities, right? You guys know it.
That's exactly what you'll find at Machu Picchu and in Peru.
I'm looking at this.
Giant stones, perfectly gathered.
How old is this place supposedly?
13 to 15,000 years ago. So about 1,500 years after the Younger Dryas ended in 13,500 BC.
Well,
somewhere in that range.
Me being and showing these guys over and over and over again how stone, look at the layout of the stone again.
Look at the stone on the left, the entrance stone.
There's this Puma Pinkle. I mean, this screams.
That entrance stone is like 3.5 tons. Each one of those rocks weighs 1/4 to 1/2, maybe even 3/4 of a ton. That is about a 4-ton stone right there.
But that's not.
That is monolithic,
bro.
And look at it; it's part of a bigger stone.
Well, stop.
You see, the top is carved off.
Let me tell
it's
you,
part of a bigger piece.
That is not even one stone. I'm telling you that you're looking at ancient mortar, bro. That stone.
Well, no, that's
made,
melted. It's melted, but it's also cut.
Bro, listen to me. It is made
Look
of multiple.
at it. Look at all 4 pylons. They look like they're cut.
Of course. But I'm telling you, that's mortar. Look.
Yeah, and it's been melted.
So we lost this technology. This technology existed. You said this is 13-something
It exists again. We have it.
Sure, of course, we've got it. But they won't admit that what we're talking about is true. This shit will never fly in academiology. Would never. They're like, oh, that's shit.
It's not a challenge. Okay, so do you remember a movie in the 80s called Pure
shit.
Genius?
Look at that little teeny.
With Val Kilmer, where he's actually at Harvard making a laser system that can bounce off the ionosphere and basically make anything explode. It's exactly what they do. And now they can bounce it off anything. And they got the focus systems like Laser Strike, which can actually destabilize air molecules themselves and set the hydrogen and oxygen on fire when they destabilize the molecule by separating it at the molecular level. Then those things become explosive and conductive. You can literally set air on fire that way.
Dude.
I know, right?
I would love to.
Welcome to the underworld.
Right? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So in the Talmud,
Interesting stuff.
I learned, quote, in the Talmud, there are 3 entrances to hell. One is in Jerusalem, one is in the ocean, and one is in the desert. You'll never guess which is. Right in the middle of fucking Turkey.
Go figure. Ramtha, which is a channel of Jay-Z Night, says that one of the capstones from the Great Pyramid still till this day is known, but it's covered up with color. She's like, it's worth a small fortune, she says. And Ramtha says that it's somewhere in Turkey and it's been colored. It's got white side, a yellow side, a red side, and a green side. I'm like, wow, yeah, it makes sense. So just hear me out. I was just telling you what I've been told. This is really cool shit. Now, how did you stumble onto this?
Okay, so I have this thing where like I retain information and then I apply it. Because I've learned certain things you'll see, like on the History Channel, you only have so long to learn about them, and then they'll remove the special forever. Like there was this one oasis. It was the Lost Khazarian Oasis, and they actually used it to find Khazaria, because when they found it, it had been lost because it was a huge water body, and then it had collapsed in on itself when the water got too low and the sand got too high. But around it, there was a giant, almost Stonehenge of sand that had pictures of animals.
And I have a theologian
from that time had no idea existed. And so it was one of those things where you just see a couple times. So when I started learning about the Hattusha, it just stuck in my mind. And so when I went and looked, because I look at a lot of things and dismiss a lot of things, but when I looked and I saw the jade statues and I saw the jade monoliths, I saw the monolithic stones, I knew what I was seeing was real. Just like at Göbekli Tepe,
Right.
Machu Picchu, just like at Yonaguni Monument, like these are things we can't ignore anymore. This is our history. This is our truth.
Yeah, man, you can't ignore that. Out of curiosity, we've got an hour and a half. I got a half an hour to go down yet. I want to ask you if you want to go over, this transhumanism. You gave me a link. It's a YouTube link. I'll drop it in the chat for everybody so they can have it. Supposedly,
There's a point that I want to get to in that video. So let's just play, because I see these people, even as they've been making this plan, because this video is from 2014 or 2016. But yeah, I want to see these people for themselves. See their eyes, see their intention.
okay, I'll play this video. In the meantime, you try to find a better better spot in your house. We're hearing you, but you're breaking up. So
I'm stuck where I am, man. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You're what?
I'm stuck where I am. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Shit, I'm stuck where I am. Okay, check this out. This is Humanism and Transhumanism by NASAnon. He wanted me to share this with you. Hopefully this is not above my head, but nevertheless, coming at you guys. You ready? Here we go. And I guess this is what exactly is this? Can I ask you? Is this a conference? Can I ask you real quick? Is this a conference of what? What is this? He wouldn't mute himself. Son of a bitch. I guess we'll see.
I'm interested because we just talked about this extremely popular book of Harari, Homo Deus. As I have you here, Natasha, and I have a theologian like Miroslav, I'm interested to see what, according to the two of you, is the difference between the God-man, Jesus Christ, and the man-God, which apparently, according to Harari and a few others, we can create through our technological things, and which is one of the reasons why, and maybe you can start with that, Natasha, you are also literally in the business of suspending life, and with the idea that at a certain moment, technology will be on that level that people can live much longer or even forever. And the question then related to this is,
I said, whoa. Okay. Let me back up the damn train here.
Natasha, you are also literally in the business of suspending life, and with the idea that at a certain moment, technology will be on that level that people can live much longer or even forever. And because
the dude literally just said what I think he said. He did say forever. The hell is... Dude. NASAnon. I just unmuted you. Did you heard this?
I'm the one have shared it with you. I want them to hear it, but I understand your hesitation.
Dude,
Like I said,
where did you go? They're messed
from them.
your audio back, bro.
Them.
Holy shit.
Hello.
Your audio sucks, bro. Sorry, I'm gonna go back. All right, and look at her face, dude. Look at this broad's face. It don't even really look. The hell, I'm getting all excited and shit. It don't even look real, dude. Let me zoom in on this broad's face. Oh my god, she don't look real, bro. She doesn't look real. What the fuck?
And the question then related to this is what's the connection between our mortality and our morality?
I don't use the term immortality because I think it's a misnomer. I think it's heavily sequestered to the myths of the early proto-scientists, the Taoists. And it's also, think about Satra, no exit, you can't get out. It's, you're stuck there forever. So I think of immortality is not only a pipe dream, but it's an impossibility. Our solar system has a lifespan, our sun has a lifespan. So alternatively, I think about...
How does she know this? Let me ask you that. How's it? Man. Oh, shit. I'm going to drop this link. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop this before we lose. I've already lost him. I don't know. I already lost him, I think. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to drop this in the chat so we don't lose that. All right. Tita Daly says Botox gone wrong. Oh, shit. She needs some Trinot products, baby. Shit. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Sorry. I'm going to press play for the rest of this. This is interesting, bro.
A limited lifespan for a person to live as long as he or she desires or is capable, and if not, then cryonics is an alternative until later medicine can catch up with the disease. But looking at this post-human era, I don't think we're there yet. I think that has been subscribed to us by the academics in postmodernism. And I think they reached out for the post-humanist era because they had no sensibility within academics and in the mainstream about technology and the advances in artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, nanomedicine, nanotechnology, CRISPR, like with genetic engineering or gene therapy, et cetera, at all. So I think there was this leap. I think we're in the transhuman era, where the transhumanist era is about a human in transition to becoming something other. Now, what is that other? That could be an evolved human. It could be a human merging with artificial intelligence. It could be a human that, in my view, would become more humane. So that's how I look at it in that regard. So immortality, no. Limited lifespan, yes. Redefining death, we've been doing that for eons.
I caught that. Did you just hear that? And she's smiling in the process. Let's listen to this bitch again. Sorry.
More humane. So that's how I look at it in that regard. So immortality, no. Limited lifespan, yes. Redefining death, we've been doing that for eons. Determining when someone dies and then we find out,
We've been doing it for eons. She's so excited.
Have cured that. We used to hold a mirror up to someone's nose, listen to their heart. We can, bring people back to life that 100, 200 years ago, even 50 years ago, were considered dead. So that transition to becoming a post-human, but not non-biological, not some avatar, some automata out there, but a human that's in the stage of post-biological, meaning not having a shelf life, not limited by our genetic makeup.
Right.
Did you guys really clearly hear what she said in them little statements? Because here's the thing. I'm analyzing her face. I'm watching what she's saying, how she's saying it. And all I can tell you is what she just said. They know some automaton. Did you hear her say, I don't mean some non-biological being or entity out there somewhere. So they know, obviously, they know what she just said. And taking that further, did you also hear her say where they know, or she knows, that the sun, of course, the sun's got a lifespan, as well as the universe. Did you guys catch that shit that she was? Did you catch what she was throwing down? This is interesting shit. There, NASAnon, wherever you went. Are you still with me? Yeah, you're there. There you go. I gotta unmute you though. There you go. This is interesting as hell. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I can't help but pause.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell you. It's different when you hear it, because the mind knows truth. And once you hear your enemy speak, you will never doubt your alliances again, because you will understand these vipers' words for what they are.
Oh man, I can't hear you. By the way, you have to yeah, you are way down in the green. If someone would like to donate a microphone for him, I'd gladly get it to him. I'm just saying, he's like, should I just play this entirety of the video? Yeah, I think. David T. Godby, you all already know I'm NASAnon, all right? Ready? Right? Wait till she gets into FDA regulations. I'll just rock the chat. All right, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and play. I'm gonna play the rest of this. I've got to, dude. I've got to play the rest of this because this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. Oh man. Yeah. So let me get over here to this right here. Just listen to what this broad says.
So, but if I understand this correctly, you and your husband Max, in where you live, Scottsdale, Arizona, you have this car center where, in my lay language, you freeze bodies.
Oh, okay. It's called Alcor Life Extension Foundation. My husband is CEO. I'm a member, but I don't run there. I'm an academic. I teach, etc. But I did do a scientific breakthrough there where I proved that 2 neurons in a simple animal withstand vitrification rather than freezing. Freezing is a misnomer. It's the wrong term. It's vitrification because you don't want crystallization of the cells, which will crack and so vitrification is the methodology that's used now in cryonics for suspension. My scientific research, the scientist part of me, proved that long-term memory does exist in simple animals after cryopreservation or vitrification. It's a growing business. People will opt for it. Doctors are more interested in it now than ever. We just suspended our beloved animal companion, who is like my son. He died of old age, but...
I suspended my dog who died from old age. So she's got, from what I understand, in cryogenesis or stasis, right? Her dog who died of old age. I wonder what this I wonder what she's going to do with it. Like, good question. I don't know.
The thing about cryonics, it picks up where today's medicine leaves off. Mm-hmm. It's not some science fiction dream. It's based on evidence-based science. It works. We brought back C. elegans, and that is a fact. So it's not whirly-hurly science fiction.
But just for my own imagination, there's it's a center. And the bodies there are no longer alive, but they're also not dead.
Yeah, and that's another one of the problems with today's FDA and all the rules and regulations. You have to physically die before the suspension team, which is on standby, takes you for the surgery. Mm-hmm. But we've seen people who were pronounced dead come back to life with, beating of the heart, with using different medical equipment to bring them back. So that doesn't bother me so much. But the facility, Alcor, is a large facility, has several operating rooms. It has doers there. It has neuroscientists there. It has neurosurgeons there. It's a highly reputable company, and some of our leading thought leaders globally are signed up for cryonics because it is the best safety net for those who want to live a longer life.
Yeah, and because then at a certain moment when the technology is there, they can get out of this, and then wonderful things happen. In your transhumanist reader, you write, transhumanism is a non-religious philosophy of life that rejects faith, worship, and emphasizes a meaningful approval to living informed by reason and science and progress. What do you mean?
I think that that can be taken in two different ways. Number one, it could be taken that it's agnostic or atheistic, and that any type of faith is verboten. But I don't agree with that at all. I have very strong faith in spirituality. I've always been a spiritual person. I was born Episcopalian, a Christian. I went through confirmation. And as a teenager in my early life and through teenager and all through my life, I've donated more of my time helping others and volunteering for causes around the world than I have in making money. So it's, it's like you're bad if you don't believe in God. I'm not religious, and nor do I believe in God. But that doesn't make me an evil person because I've volunteered most of my life in saving other people's lives.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to pause this here and go over it and see exactly how you guys are responding to this. I'm really interested in seeing this. Mr. Lee Grantham says, sounds like a zombie, like out of The Walking Dead. Yes, bro. Yes, absolutely. This sounds like, yeah. This is reminding me of like some. Yeah, you just said it. You took the words right out of my mouth. Some Pet Cemetery type shit. Yeah. Pet Cemetery type shit. Going back through, but wait. Morgan says. David says the bodies, they're not alive, but they're also not dead. Cryogenesis. What we're. She's saying cryostasis. But wait, did she suspend the did she suspend the consciousness, the soul, and or the brain? This is a really touchy one, Morgan. I wish that I wish that David's fucking connection would work. But here's the thing. What cryogenesis pretty much would do is it would be like you dying, right? Or just pick it this way. You just go off to sleep and you wake up the next day and it's like you're put to sleep in 2020 and well, you want woken up or come out of stasis, cryogenesis stasis in 2060. All of that time is when your consciousness state, I guess, is, I don't know, out of body, out of mind, or I don't know. But nevertheless, it literally would be like going to sleep in 2020, 2024, and waking up in 2060, 2080. That's literally what it would be like. I mean, think about it. Think about what I just said. This is the kind of shit that they're playing with. You know? Don't know. And then he says she doesn't believe in God, trying to be like a god. Interesting. That's very interesting comment. Yes, that's the way I see it. Lee Grantham says, Matt, alive and not dead sounds like a walker. Yeah, right? Tammy Bottom, well, they have the technology to make a clone. They remove your consciousness, kind of like the movie The Matrix. Man, now we're talking. Well, God, me, Larry, and Ava have had that talk, and it went really, really deep, dude. Yeah, this is kind of reminding me of. I don't even remotely know. The Matrix is one. Again, waking up and could you really imagine that shit? Going to sleep in 2024, waking up in this like 2080, 2082, 2090, 2100. Imagine that shit. David says Dark City. That's a movie. They Live. Yeah. Wow. I am absolutely glad that you dropped this on my lap, bro. I really am. I'm gonna go over here and finish up this little humanism and transhumanism. Very interesting.
No, fair enough. But I'm interested by the fact that you have this faith in reason, science, and progress being the fundament of our culture. To create a better society.
I think we need a better society. At the first round table, we went over good and evil and took a look at some of the problems around the world, and we heard incredible narratives about people overcoming odds and how are we going to deal with this and what is it and what does it mean. But the bottom line, in my view, is that the human mind, the introspection, the creativity, the ability to explore, discover new planets, no one discovered America, it was already here, but let's say Columbus, so to speak, discovered America, which he did not. But it's, we are explorers as a species, as Homo sapiens sapiens. And we have the ability now, through the use of ethical technology and evidence-based science, to carve what I consider a more apt, a more intelligent, a more ethical, a more humane society, and that's the whole reason behind transhumanism. Yes, it is to extend life, to be sure, but not as we are, not as the humans that we are with our reptilian brain and our fight-or-flight instinct that brings about in the first panel, the greed, the money-making, but I agree with that. Amazon is fine. It's not a bad guy. So, come on.
May I ask how much does it cost to actually freeze someone?
Yeah, when I signed up in 1990, it cost $40,000.
Yeah.
And it's vitrification, so I am a neuro because I want a different body. I think that whole body prosthetics is sensible. We've seen great advances in robotics and narrow AI and haptic systems and interfacing with neurology to form robotic limbs for people who have gone to war and suffered and been injured, and they now have prosthetic legs and arms, etc. So I think that we'll be designing new bodies. I think it's going to be a major field in design and building innovation. So $40,000 when I was, when I was in the 1990s back then, but now it's more, but things cost. Yeah. But you get a life insurance policy, and I pay, $100 a month in life insurance.
Well, rich people had been trying to live forever for a very long time, and I think giving them this kind of technology is going to be extremely dangerous.
But why do you think it's rich people?
Because,
I wasn't rich, and I'm not rich.
I don't have $40,000.
Well, listen, I didn't either. Yeah. I got a life insurance policy.
And that was back in the 90s. Now, I don't know how much does it cost. I actually got admitted to Columbia University, but I didn't have the money to actually pay for my college. I didn't get a...
That's quite funny, right? Oh, man. We literally heard her say she's not rich, but yet she is a columnist. She writes for some transhumanist paper. Her husband is the CEO of a cryogenics foundation, as well as no, this bitch ain't rich. She's $40,000 to her is like nothing. $40,000 to her is nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a quarter to me, Morgan Rose or whatever. It's like it's a quarter. Here's a quarter. I need a new body. Yeah, James, here, bro. We'll just give me a quarter, James. 40,000. It's just $40,000, right? Come on, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. James says they send them to war to lose their limbs so that they can try out their technologies. I agree with that shit. We don't need any more wars, bro. We don't need, you know what? Get rid of the problem and you get rid of the problem. That's just the way I think, man. We're in 2024, right? I heard her say, well, I think that we could have a better society. I do too. I truly do. I believe that we too could have a better society. Let's just leave it at that. When we smirk too, I think that we can have a better society as well. then I digress.
Scholarship. So I'm currently, or I used to actually work in DHL. I just carry boxes. So when I look at how some people are, spending their money or the way they plan for their lives, everyone got a free choice, everything. It's their own hard-earned money. But I think there's a lot more important and very urgent problems that the world should look at. And the very first example should be starvation. When we think about solving the future problems and everything.
Don't you think that transhumanism has considered that? I just got through saying I spent most of my life volunteering and helping others, including working for the Home for Incurables, feeding people on the street. So don't put words in my mouth, sir.
No.
I think it's important. I think it's important that we step back and consider what the larger problem is here. And I think the larger problem is what should be our attitude towards human limits, towards human finitude. Now, there are some people who despise limits and live to transgress them. And there are other people who respect limits because they view them as not just an obstacle to certain aspirations, but as actually constitutive of the meaning of our lives. And I think that the most obvious case of a human limit without which human life would have no meaning, at least by my pre-transhumanist lights, is time. The idea of living forever seems like hell on earth to me.
I agree.
And not only because some of the people I know might live as long as I do. It's not just for that reason. But I think that there is a sense in which the urgency of our values and of moral values, of our aesthetic experiences, of our religious experiences, the urgency of all this is premised on the limitation of time. And I think it's very important, before we learn to be post-human or transhuman, I think we have to learn to be human. And so I am.
Did you guys see? I was muted. Probably a good thing, but did you happen to see what was hanging out that fellow's nose? He's got a microchip hanging out of his nose. Look at this. What in the hell is this? Part of his carbon suit is coming off. Out. I don't know. I just had to make fun. Sorry. You know what I mean, right? There was no audio. Of course there was not. There was no audio. All right. This is a really, really interesting conference. I got to admit. Thank you, David, for sharing this. I'll go right back. All right. I didn't mean to pause. Let's go.
Very suspicious of the transhumanist enterprise. Firstly, because it's conceived and enacted by humans. And somebody has to make the judgments.
There you
the
said
judgments, we will never transcend that kind of finitude. Transhumanism is another human project. I'll just stop with this now. We talked about this last night. There was a 17th century Jewish philosopher who lived in Prague. And he once wrote in an essay, he began his observation, he said that the human being is a being that aspires to perfection. It's a very standard medieval formulation. But then he did something so wicked and smart. He turned the screw in again and he said, and in a being that is defined by the aspiration to perfection, perfection itself would have to be regarded as a flaw and a shortcoming.
I agree.
And that if we don't learn to live with that, then I don't see anything but destruction.
Yeah, I think I want to echo what has just been said. I'm very ambivalent about the idea of not just posthumanism, but transhumanism as well. I kind of think that it's beautiful to be human and kind of discovering the beauty of what it means to be human. So whatever we want to do in terms of extension of life, whatever we want to do in terms of curing the ills that befall humanity, and God knows much suffering is inflicted upon human beings by illness, by all sorts of other, in all sorts of other ways. But it would seem to me that nonetheless, the beauty of our humanity ought to be preserved. And I think the great challenge before us is to say, why is it important for us to be human, to remain human? And I think you mentioned, and I think that was in your question as well, that somehow science should help us answer this question. And I have difficulty with that. I think science is an incredibly important, marvelous tool. I think technology is absolutely marvelous. Well, science, not just tool, but also explaining reality to us. Technology, enhancing various aspects of our lives, it's absolutely fantastic. But one thing it cannot do, it cannot tell me what ought to be. It cannot tell me what I ought to want. I want something, what I desire something, but what is worth desiring? What kind of human being is worth being? That question, I think, is fundamental to the nature of our humanity.
Then you all don't understand the philosophy of transhumanism, because the main core tenet is more humanity, more humaneness.
But let's formulate the question differently. The question would then be, what am I being frozen for?
Well,
the minute you ask that question,
you're using the wrong term.
What am I
It's
being
not
vitrified?
frozen.
What am I being X'd for? Whatever you do. But wait 1 second. But that assessment of goals and purposes returns us to the traditional humanist ways of reasoning with all their strengths and weaknesses.
Do you like life?
I generally do, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you love life, if you like life, and if you love life, do you want to stop it? Do you want to end it?
Well, I love chocolate, and I don't want to eat it all the time.
Well, you don't want life all the time.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to drop this again. This little conference that David dropped in here for us. I want to share that with you guys one more time. Yeah, coming at you in the chat. Formalities are right there. Okay. Over the years, we have watched humanity suffer. We have watched humanity change into a transhumanistic party. Blah 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 blah. All right, so I'm trying. I think NASAnon. I think David left me. Did he? Oh, there he is. He's still there. But I don't know if I'll be able to hear him. But he's there. Are you there? Hello? Check. I'm here. No.
Can you hear me?
No. I don't know how you're doing, but no. Let me try to get.
Hello.
Hang on. I got you as loud as I can possibly get you, and you ain't even there. You're nowhere near there. Try it again. Hello.
Hear me?
Yeah, no.
Hello.
Forget it, Waldo. I love you, bro, but you're not even like way up near the yellow. All right. I don't know what to do with him. I don't know what. Let me try to crank the audio up one more time. Try it now, bro. Try it now.
Hello.
There you are. Now you're in the yellow patch.
Okay, finally. Yeah, so I'm glad everyone's enjoying this. You know, that definitely helps. Sorry about my problems, but that's just the difficulty sometimes. So
we'll just stick your ass on ice, and we'll come back in 2060. You'll have better audio, better Wi-Fi connectivity. You might be I'm just kidding, dude. Relax.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah, be all right. All right, Homer.
But yeah, no, I'm glad everybody's enjoying this topic. I do want to get to the FDA regulations part. That's really important to all this. I want people to hear at least that much.
We went through it. I already played the entirety of it.
Oh, did you?
I played the entirety of it. Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
Sure did.
Yeah, so it's important for people to know that, like, that's where it is at this point.
You know, when it comes down to with what she said about, well, I think that yes, we can have a better quality in society. I think that we can. We need a better society. Well, sure. Okay, but if did you also hear me like kind of say, I think we could do without certain people in society, and I even said,
oh, absolutely,
my fucking mouth.
Nazi pedophiles don't change themselves, and this transhumanism, you gotta know that it deals right with trafficking. If you can't see that, then you're missing the point.
George Overton says, it's clear to see that all of our minds are so scattered everywhere. Crazy. It's all good, though. It rains, or dust, or, well, we could be a weed. Well, and the feed. Check this out. I would like to say that they don't want, something tells me, and I'll point this out to you as well, they are heavily bombarding everybody with psyops, with information. We are being, like right now, this is information overload. Okay? They don't want the human, the mind, you, the creator, to like even land on a thought. They're every day, man, they're blasting us with Wi-Fi, they're blasting us with cell signals, they're blasting us with all kinds of different, mind-bending technique. Plus, welcome to the age of the internet where you got like any information you want at tick 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 right here at the tips of your fingertips. Do you agree with that? This is a bombardment of information.
I mean, most people can't handle it, so I would say that classifies. But what you have to understand is this is all intentional and it's all interconnected. You have these people that just don't actually care about anything except extending their own life, even if it's 5 minutes in exchange for 5 years of someone else's, or sending one of our soldiers back without its head and spinal cord, because those are the parts that DARPA uses for its transhumanist 2.0 project. Human 2.0 project, I mean. So once you really, really look, you're not going to like what you find. I just want to put that warning out there. You have been warned. It gets a lot darker than this because, like I said, this is 2016. I would like to close out with this video for Hello, My Name is Human, because it's really accurate to the entire transhumanist agenda in visuals.
Did you drop that in the chat somewhere? Hello, my name is Human. Did you drop that in the chat somewhere, bro? Or
there it is.
Did you say there it is?
There it is.
But where is it?
In the chat.
You're actually going to make me go fish for this, ain't you?
Fish? It's your chat.
It ain't my chat. It's their
You
chat.
asked if I dropped it in the chat, so I went and dropped it in the chat.
All right, so I'm going
to... Krista, I am not the psyop. And if I am, I don't know it.
You are. You're the psyop in everybody's life. You're the psyop in my life. Hi, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this for everybody. After that is... Oh, we got music. That's great. We're going to get copyright banned for the music. Is this all music? Can you check?
Well, it's I didn't realize we could get copyright banned for music.
I will definitely get struck down for music copyright on that. I definitely will.
Okay, well, never mind.
I can't play it, but I mean, I can with the audio, but I can, artist name, blah, 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 blah. I will play it, but yet just like let it go through, if you know what I mean, without sound. Because it's got images and shit, right? Saying what it's
Yeah, it's actually the imagery that is most important.
All right, highly suspect my name is human. Like, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play this right here. Play it now. Again, it's a band, and I don't know. We're looking at a heart. Highly suspect.
I doubt they would mind. Once you see the video, you'll understand.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up with you, bro, and continue to play this. You got anything? You got something good to say to everybody before you leave? I'll go ahead and
I don't know. It's just been a really weird week for everybody. So I hope we can all keep it together long enough to really see the end of this show. But watch for weird stuff, man, because I thought it wasn't going to get weirder than this, and it's weirder than this. So what's up? But yeah, no, I just hope everybody, opens their eyes a little bit more, and maybe this will help open your eyes a little bit more to just how deep down the rabbit hole we actually are at this point. Because as many of you have seen, it's a lot deeper than most people would like to believe. It's just where we are with it. It can't be helped, can't be changed. And once it's all said and done, it's really going to be a question of what you did to try to stop it while you have the chance.
I truly am with you, man. I think it's going to be definitely going to be interesting. Definitely going to be interesting. All right, man. I will.
All right. Well, good night, buddy.
You too. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next week. You all right, mate?
All right, man.
Be good. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for everything. Good night.
Good night. Alrighty, everybody. I never thought I'd go down this road of transhumanism. I really didn't. I truly didn't. I can tell you that he's led me down some pretty deep-ass rabbit holes. And I also seen up here in the chat where he's dropped his real name. So we can we're gonna have a little talk and see if that's what he wants to do. Just go by his real name. Transhumanism. We know that that's what they're wanting to do. We know that that's where their goals are going to be. But I don't really truly know their agenda. Okay, and that I guess is the kicker. Is we don't know. Only thing we can do is research transhumanism over and over until we're blue in the face, and just go from there. Share the information as best we possibly can with one another. You hear me? Thank you, Miss Minnie. Thank you, Amy Jo. Appreciate it. Miss Rose, you guys, I really do. I appreciate all of you guys. Me and David, I appreciate you guys. Again, man, just keep your eyes out. Look at everything. Double check everything. Question everything. And that's the only thing I can tell you. As far as this bridge goes, the up and coming solar eclipse, who knows? I have no idea. All I can tell you is I think that there is, I truly think that there's something nefarious behind it. I do. I can't help but think that. Look at what we're dealing with. Look at who we're dealing with, right? So with that being said, that alone tells you that, I don't know. It is what it is. You guys are the ones that I rely on. I rely on you guys' the information you bring me. You share a shit ton of stuff with me as well as everyone else. And I mind to point out, thank you ABCs. that are becoming awake to what is going on, because it literally takes you to make shit like this come out into the open and truly get to the meat of the bone, because we're not where you're at. You've heard me say this before. So shout out to all of you ABCs, all of you men and women that put your uniform on every day and have to go deal with this compartmentalized bullshit. There's a bunch of you that are reaching out, a bunch of you that are trying to blow the whistle on a bunch of shit right now, and you can see that it is ramping up. I can see that it's ramping up. But there again, what's going to happen on this? I don't know. I have no idea. This coming Friday, we will be with our older friend, our Egyptologist, Mr. Richard Gabriel. Once again, he wants to blow out for you guys the disclosure of the Osiris shaft under the pyramid. It's been an interesting talk. I absolutely love Richard Gabriel. I put him together a website in case something happens to this fella. He's older. He's in his 70s. And he's got a ton of images and videos to share with you and humanity. And these are things that we've never seen. And I want to be able to preserve that for him, as well as you and me and our kids. So we're in the process of right now trying to pull them images, pull some video from him to where we can get it to you. Again, these are images, video that the world has not ever seen. And it's straight from him. It is from the underground of the plateau. So again, we're gonna have a really deep talk. It's gonna be a really interesting night, Friday night. You guys join me and Mr. Richard Gabriel, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock West Coast time. Any other time, check with little Miss Lisa. She'll drop all the other times in the chat. You guys have a good week. We'll catch you on Friday night. Crank it up, brains, on your way out of here. Right now, we're out.
We're in the Matrix.
I love you guys. You do it.
Yeah. Let's do this. One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Your show. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. One of the most controversial conspiratorial shows on the web, the Matrix Minds. And that's right. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds. Your show.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I'm offering is the truth. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth.
Matrix Minds audio backtracks by Richard Roller from Victoria, Australia. All of your audio needs, audio creation, audio editing for the podcast, for movies, outright music creation, Touch Base Productions. Contact Richard Roller at richardroller007@gmail.com.
Hey everybody, Austin here with Colorado Custom Game Calls. Are you looking for a game call for your upcoming season? Are you looking for something unique? Are you looking for a gift for the hunter in your life? Well, look no further, we got you covered. At Colorado Custom Game Calls, you get to put your own twist on these calls. Whether it's waterfowl hunting, big game hunting, predator, or turkey, we got you covered. So be sure to hit us up on our Facebook and Instagram or on the web at coloradocustomgamecalls.com.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
Welcome to Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where magic meets the mundane and the extraordinary becomes every day. Are you ready to gift yourself with the whispers of ancient power stones? To the feel and hear the echoes of our ancient past? Dive into a world where each pendant tells a story, where rare stones hold secrets known only to the universe itself. At Crystal Cove, our collection isn't just jewelry. It's a gateway to a realm of mysticism and wonder. Let the shimmering opal guide you through twilight dreams, or embrace the fiery energy of the sun with our exquisite amber pendants. Each piece, handcrafted by the hands of a true mystic who understand the language of the earth and the fire of one's heart. At Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, we believe that every soul deserves to sparkle. Whether you seek solace in the calming embrace of amethyst or wish to dance with the vibrant hues of turquoise, our collection holds the key to unlocking your inner magic if you allow it to be so. Visit us today and discover the pendant that speaks to your soul. Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where the beauty of our amazing earthy realm meets the magic of the cosmos.